Namaskar and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sathology Debunking Mythology. One common question which has come usually from many people, and this is feedback: what is dharma and why should we follow it? Now, we all know that dharma is a very common word across Buddhism and Hinduism. We have heard it many times. So in Buddhism also this word is very common, and Hinduism it's the origin. So when so dharma originates, the word dharma, the entire Vedic culture or Vedic dharma revolves around this word dharma, like either protecting it, or when it gets violated, it has to be, we have to protect it, or we have to follow it. So what is this dharma word dharma? Now if you go into the Sanskrit etymology, so dharma is a platform. If you say dharma is a principle, is a platform for righteousness, truth, uh, sobriety, or law, intrinsic quality, essential quality, essence of something, and there are many adjectives attached to it. So we sometimes say Sanatan Dharma, which is a qualifying word for dharma. Sanatan Dharma means dharma of the soul. Then there is Raj Dharma, which is the dharma of ruling or how to govern. That is Raj Dharma. And the Yuddha Dharma, which is dharma of, the principle of fighting, Yuddha Dharma. Then you can have, these are the qualifying statements. Like for example, also we can attach the word dharma to elements. For example, water can be liquid. So the dharma of water is liquidity. Dharma of air is ethereal. So because you cannot see it. So dharma can be attached to the original nature, intrinsic quality, or the essence of anything. Like for example, when we say the dharma of a king is truthfulness, righteousness, and also its duties also. So sometimes dharma is also called compulsory duty, or or a duty which is ordained by any law. It can also become dharma. Like for example, when you say police or security forces, their dharma is to protect. Their duty is to protect. So actually, we are saying the duty is to protect. So dharma goes across. This word can be qualified for many situations. Like for example, also one more professional based use is medicine. There's many of you who have joined from the medicine schools. So in the medical schools, when you say dharma of a doctor is to protect, and you also have oaths for that. Dharma of a doctor is to protect from somebody who is sick. That's a dharma. So this word has been used in many different contexts. So when the Buddhists, when they say dharma, so their idea of dharma is to follow the teachings of Bodhisattva. There are many Bodhisattva in Buddhism dharma, and it is a term which again sources back to the Vedic scriptures. So dharma and yoga. So whenever you see discussion in Ramayana, ancient Vedic texts or histories connected to Vedic culture, then everyone is either fighting for dharma, protecting dharma, or opposing dharma. If you take Ramayana, then Raman is on the opposite side of dharma, is adharma. Adharma is which is not dharma, pretty much. It's an antonym of dharma. So he is on the side of adharma, and then dharma is Bhagavan Ram is on the side of dharma. And then when they fight, then dharma wins. So dharma is always victorious. That means the principle of right, who is right, is always victorious. And you will find that Vishnu or any other incarnation of Krishna or Ram, they all descend to defend dharma, while others they are there to oppose dharma. Now there is a very classical dichotomy there. everyone who is born, like even the people who are right, like for example, take the example of Ravan or Duryodhan, they, according to them, they feel that they are following dharma. But on the deep level, when you look at the definition of dharma, then dharmam to sakshat bhagavad pranitam. That's the original definition given by Yamraj, the devta of death. He says, whatever Vishnu says is dharma, and rest everything is not dharma. Because Vishnu, by the definition, is always there to protect dharma. So therefore, it is said dharma never loses. And anyone who protects dharma gets protected. Dharma protects it. And very few people understand that dharma is also one of the incarnations of Vishnu, is a person. And also dharma is also a devta. Both are there. Like Yudhishthir is the son of Dharma, and therefore he's called Dharma Raj. And there are many other examples where Dharma personified is present in the assembly of Indra. So when we say, for example, when there's a fight of good over bad, when you say good over bad is very minimizing good or bad. It's not nothing to do with dharma. Dharma means essentially, intrinsically right. Something is right. And so the many of these villains of these stories, like Ravan and Duryodhan, they think that they are very dharmic because according to their own definition. But when you look at the dharma definition from the point of view of scriptures, then automatically they're proved wrong because they are working against Vishnu. The Ravan kidnapped Vishnu's wife, and Duryodhan wanted to usurp the kingdom of friends of Krishna, Pandavas. So again, they are on the wrong side in terms of the definition of dharma. So not everybody can claim to be on the path of dharma. That is a big misconception. Now there is another concept called swadharma. Swadharma means my personal dharma. Now wherever you are born, it is your duty to protect that land, duty to protect your family, duty to protect your job, or your duty is to protect your health also, and also earn for your family or support your family in any way, to cook. So that is called swadharma. So while doing all these basic activities, you also need to cultivate a sense of spirituality. Now, spirituality is called Sanatan Dharma. It is different than the duties, the qualities, the law, and the principle of righteousness. Sanatan Dharma is a principle for you who are not the body. Like we all accept that we are spirit souls. So when you say spirit soul, that becomes Sanatan Dharma. So when people say, you'll see many Hindus and many people saying, even Buddhists say that we follow Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means soul, religion of the soul, or dharma of the soul, or the yoga of the soul, or the duties of the soul. That is Sanatan Dharma. That is completely different than any of the other dharmas I spoke about. Now, this particular Sanatan Dharma is based on core spiritual practices which help us connect with Paramatma and ultimately Vishnu. Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. So when you say Vadanti Tattva Tattvavidas Tattvam Vijnanam Vadmayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwan Iti Shabdate. So this concept of three types of realization, whether it is Brahman realization or Paramatma realization or Bhagwan realization. So these are the three different goals for a person who claims to be following the path of Sanatana Dharma. So he can understand God as all pervading. Now, this is only Sanatana Dharma definition. He can understand or go after that realization of God, which is localized Paramatma, or he can go for the Sakshat or original form, the source of both Paramatma and Brahma. So you can go either. But these are all three are aspects of the same person. Now, when a soul like you and me goes for these three goals, that's called Sanatan Dharma. So it's very, very interesting. Now, when we say, so most of the people don't understand it. Now, when you ask some Hindus or other people, they say, we are following Sanatan Dharma. That's correct in a way. because they are following the dharma of the soul, which is to seek super soul, Paramatma, Bhagwan, or Brahman. That is the Sanatan Dharma. So the next question comes in, that a lot more can be said. Now, dharma is also law. For example, in Mahabharat, we see the Swayamvar of Draupadi, and that is according to dharma, according to the father organized the Swayamvar. Now we also see in the gambling match where the difficult questions are being asked. So there the law is being taken, where Draupadi asked the question that is it according to dharma was she brought there? Everyone was quiet. There is a very interesting observation there. Dharmam to niyatam guhaya. Very complex to understand. Now, when you see dharma as a law, any law is complex. You need attorneys for that. So you need many people who can comment on the same topic from different aspects, and that's why it is called guhaya, or very complex. But generally, it is not very complex. Just like, for example, father's duty is to protect their children or to provide for their children. Very simple to understand. So dharma is complex only when there is adjudication required for a particular complex situation. Like, for example, to prove that somebody is not dharmic, the actions have to be proved from multiple sources. Otherwise, the action as per law cannot take place. Now, the next question comes into the mind is that why a person should follow dharma. Now, like I said, it is the duty of everyone to follow dharma. The question of why doesn't come is, for example, when you're living in a land, you have to follow the laws of the land. That becomes dharma. If you are living, if you're in a profession, you have to follow the rules of the profession. That is dharma. If you are a warrior, you have to follow the professions of the for you have to work for the protecting the country that you live in. Now, where ideally the question is why we should follow Sanatan Dharma. Now, Sanatan Dharma means dharma of the soul. So if you do not follow Sanatan Dharma or you do not practice Sanatan Dharma, that is to seek out Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan, then you will not be happy. It is not possible to be happy. Whether you call it, so it's just the nature of this particular world that if you want to seek out, if you want to be happy or self satisfied, that you have to seek out that particular aspect of dharma. So I'll stop here. I hope you could understand what is dharma, and so this was. I will be continuing with this series, and where I'll answer essential questions, and hope you like it. If you have anything, do comment on the YouTube video. Namaskar.